Hey guys, got a little do-it-yourself concrete staining video here. Before we get into this, let me just start off by saying, at least in my area, concrete stainers don't charge a lot in labor. Concrete stain is fairly expensive, and a nice high solids commercial grade sealer is fairly expensive. So by the time you add up the materials, they're not charging you a bunch to do the work. Like I say, at least in West Texas. So this area here is about 17 by 30 that you're looking at. And I paid a guy to do this. And that was 600 bucks, 700 bucks, something like that. Now, this is a fairly new slab, and it's going to settle, so there's some cracks and whatnot that I'll have to repair. But let me show you why do it yourself. So if we look along this edge here, see right down there where there's no concrete stain? Well, there's no concrete stain there, but he's sealed over that. So I would have to like lay down a bead of caulk and put a puddle of concrete stain there and leave it there for like a month for it to soak in. And then if we look over here at the bottom of the outdoor kitchen, see that brown discoloration along the edge of that rock? That is, it looks worse than it is in real life. You know, the camera kind of accentuates it more than it is. But that's where he oversprayed. So in other words, he didn't take his time. He wasn't careful. He got it done as quickly as he could, and that's probably what he has to do to make money on it. Well, the rest of it I'm happy with, just those two areas. But me doing it myself, it can be perfect. And let me show you what me doing it myself looks like. So this is the pool edge. See all those individually colored stones? That's not granite, that's stained concrete. Leather stamped stained concrete with the rocks cut out. And then I individually painted using about 5 different colors these stones. Just for example, this stone here where the self water fill thing is, there's black, there's cola, and there's blue on just this one stone. I mean, you're not gonna hire a guy who's gonna do that for you. Here is just doing the edges. I've got cola mixed. It's just half water and half cola stain. And I'm using a paintbrush and I'm just going along the edges and just kind of brushing it on. It does run a little bit, so wherever the edge is that you want to stop at, fall a little short of that by maybe an eighth or a quarter of an inch. Just kind of go along. You don't want to brush it on like super even. You want some puddles here and there. And what that'll do is it'll just add to kind of the uneven nature and the uneven look of concrete stain. If you brush it on super even and super flat, you will see brush strokes in it if you look for them. I've got some drips right here. Don't worry about that. That's just going to add to it in the end anyways. As far as what it looks like after it's had a minute to kind of set, see how I left that puddle there and another one down there? That works to your advantage in the end. The reason I'm using a paintbrush around the edge is because I'm going to tape up a shield before I spray it with a pump sprayer, the main area here. And that edge of that shield is going to kind of float in the way, and I don't want to miss a spot, so that's why I'm doing it this way. I suppose I could spray it and then come back and catch the edges, but I think this is better. All right, I've gone all the way around the garage. Took about 25, 30 minutes, and it's a 25 by 25 garage. All these little puddles you're seeing and those extra streaks and whatnot. Once the sprayed on part is down, that will all result in kind of a decent looking transition. Obviously, if you go along and nitpick, you'll be able to find a streak here or there in the edges, but by and large, it'll look like it should. Now comes the taping off the walls part, and then spraying the main floor area. It'll take actually longer to tape off the walls by fourfold or fivefold probably than it will to just spray the floor. Spraying the floor takes no time. So I'll get to that. But so far what I've done is the edges and then sprayed a little denser with the spray gun right along the edges to kind of blend it in. Maybe able to see there where I sprayed more aggressively and then moved out. That was all done with half and half cola and water. And then I kind of mixed it along the floors with that same dilution. And then now I've got basically a quart of amber and a third of a quart of cola and the rest water. So this is about 2/3 water, 1/3 stain. And I'm gonna really saturate the floor now. And the goal is that the areas where I put the higher stain density will kind of melt into the lower stain density areas, still wet, and it'll result in a kind of really wavy pattern. I guess we'll see. It's kind of one of those things you play with and you end up where you end up. But I've got the sprayer kind of pointed at an upward angle. And I'm gonna actually increase my flow in this sprayer path. So I'm just kind of pumping it out there. See, nothing real exotic going on here. I'm gonna start over here, just work my way around. I was crunched on time with rain coming and needed to hurry up and finish this project and didn't get a chance to video while I was doing it. So let me tell you what you've missed. Basically all you missed is I neutralized the acid, washed the acid off, and then sealed it. So I neutralized with ammonia, and I recommend using ammonia. The reason I recommend using ammonia as opposed to a baking soda and water mix is because that baking soda will leave kind of a hazy, dusty residue behind, and that residue will affect the color or the finished look. So that's why I stay away from that and stick to just the ammonia. And all you do is put the ammonia in the sprayer, spray it around, cover everything real nice, and then wash the slab off. And then after you do that, if you've got some areas where the stain's a little thick, you can pressure wash that. If you've got some areas where you've got some footprints, you can kind of rub those out. It's kind of a movable thing. It's not just absolutely there forever. You can even get cleaning vinegar, you can even lighten it up some if you leave it long enough, and just kind of lighten up the stain that way. After that, after the ammonia process and kind of going over the slab and getting a look at it, I sealed it. This is what I sealed with. This is the Butterfield Clear Guard, and this is the color enhancing stuff. So Butterfield Clear Guard works real well. And if you do use a color enhancing or like a wet look, you have to know that your color is going to be different than what you're left with post neutralization and wash. And I've been walking all over it, so excuse the footprints, but this is the end result. So this was a 10-year-old slab, oil stains and all that right in this area through here, and it just kind of adds to the look of the slab. Over here, I can't remember what it was I spilt here, but something wonky there. But really, when you look at the whole slab, it just kind of adds character. Water there. There's another oil stain spot there. It looks really bright on the camera screen, but you can barely see it in real life. And kind of like these edges. These edges look on the HD, they look super off, but in real life, it all sort of blends together. That's it. All together, total time, not counting, dry time and cure time and that sort of stuff. 4 hours of work on the 25 by 25 garage. We did have a couple of problems. I put some sharp grit, which is like this grippy dust in the clear guard, and I've got one spot right here where for whatever reason I got too much sand in it. I got a feeling that that'll wear off, but other than that one spot, I'm happy. So anyhow, guys, sorry I couldn't show you the rest of this thing, but like I say, this is the most rain we've had in West Texas since I've been here. I've been here a decade. But as far as doing your own stain, don't hesitate, guys. It's really easy.